welcome back, everybody. Good to see you. Tuesday, April 16th, 420 approaches, halving approaches. We're getting there a little at a time, on our way to the top. Now, I want to thank all of you for being here because this is the last Tuesday live stream on YouTube. From here forward, it will only be on Discord. Well, why is that? Well, number one, not many people come and watch this one. So that's the first thing. Number two, people don't really listen. So what we've noticed is those people in the Discord listen more. And a portion of the people in the Discord that do listen actually focus and try hard. So what we want to do is kind of focus our efforts on the people who wish to try hard, not everyone else. Because after all, from here forward, everyone else is our exit liquidity. You don't have to understand what that means right now. We'll focus more on that on Thursday. Right now, let's get to these chart requests we've got. It's not really crypto after dark, more so crypto before dark, but I never really got a good graphic for it that I liked, so it's going away anyway. So if you wouldn't mind, please go hit the like button. It's free, costs nothing here. Do not forget to subscribe. Because if you forget, well, that sucks, and I don't want you to forget. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss live streams and events. This week, we have a ton going on. I was supposed to have the Palau ID guy come on yesterday on the Discord. I ended up having to go to baseball game, makeup games. All right, so today's the live stream. Tomorrow, we have Palau ID guy coming in. Thursday, we have a live stream. Friday, we have a AMA with the Emoji folks. Then Saturday, our halving event that we'll be doing over in our Discord happens. We have events every single Monday morning. Every day this week we've had something, and we're going to try to do something 2 or 3 times a week. All right. Obviously, we do voice chats in the Discord. We do Zooms in the Discord. It's a very community-oriented thing. That's why we created it. It kind of got rid of all the stupid kids and the degenerates, but didn't really get rid of all the degenerates, just some of them. For a couple bucks a month, you kind of get rid of all of that. That's exactly why Elon is doing what he's doing with X. If you've ever wondered, well, that's stupid. Why would he charge a couple dollars? Because it gets rid of all the idiots. That's why, right? If I figured that out and Elon figured that out, how come you haven't figured that out yet? All right. So you have exactly 4 more days here to get in. WAP.com/team786. If you ain't in, you're just getting left behind. And that's all there is to it. Once the doors close, the doors close. Sorry. We have to get rid of the kids some way. This is how we do it. All right. So off to the charts. First, a quick look at Bitcoin. This is low time frame on the 2 hours. You rarely see me go down to 2 hours, but I felt it necessary to talk about why. Well, I've got some fibs pulled up here from the last low, which was in the beginning of April, to where we are now. As you see, we have made an up and then started a downtrend, and now we're making lower highs and lower lows on the way down. If you cannot see those lower highs and lower lows on the way down, I shall draw them for you now. So this was our first lower high, then a lower low, then a lower high, then a lower low, then a lower high, then a barely lower low. It looks like she's trying to slow down here. Now, I'll say this. It could continue coming down more. Now, it may have a little up first. That's kind of my thought process. Maybe a little up first, maybe a little bit of relief to get you to suck back in so we can grab some more of your exit liquidity. I think that may happen. But overall, I still think a little bit more down here. This is a low time frame, and you can see that we're at our 1272, 141 fibs now. If I flip it to linear mode, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, pretty much the same. It kind of just takes a different time frame. It shows that, roughly around halving, we're probably going to have a short-term bounce up with more down. That's kind of the way I see it. So something like this with just more of this. All right. I don't know exactly where, but one of these 2 lines down here are my targets. I don't think we go too much farther than that. Mathematically speaking, we're going to run out of time here. Now I'm going to back up on time frames. I usually start high, but I want to show you starting low and working high. Just easier to do it the right way. How about a 12-hour chart? You know what? Let's do 4-hour chart. So on the 4-hour chart, you see that we're kind of hanging on to this little support that we started all the way back in March. and have bounced and bounced and bounced and are trying to bounce again. Obviously, this level is important. It's bounced it many times. So we would like to see this level hang on. If it does not, that opens up our lower levels. Let's scroll out another time frame. Here is 12 hour. 12 hours shows similar, a little bit less noise and a little bit easier to see, but same thing right down here being our levels of interest. Linear log doesn't really matter. I'll take that off so it's a little easier to see. My green vertical lines are my buy lines. I've been DCAing Bitcoin along the way. I don't really care what anyone thinks about that. I'm smart enough to know that Bitcoin's going to go way above $100,000. This is just me getting in a spot to be safe. All right, that's it. I'm going to continue to do so. Any extra money that I might happen to make on the side goes into Bitcoin, and I hang on to it for whenever I need it. All right, it's just one little small thing that I do. Now, this looking back on 12 hours shows similar things. Like I said, a little bit less noise, but still same level, important. As I scroll out more, back to daily, where we do most of our work. Similar story, same level, not much different. However, we start to see that this trend line kind of shows, as long as we hit the trend line and stay above it, that everything will be fine. In fact, it shows that we have a short-term downtrend in red and a long-term uptrend in green. And right about mid-May would be the point of contention of that little bottom spot right here, where these two trend lines intersect. That would be an important area. That's why I've been hollering about mid-May for quite a while. Okay, does it make sense? That's why I've been hollering about it for quite a while. Again, if you're not paying attention, you're just going to become exit liquidity in a year and a half. When we get to the end of this in October and November 2025, and I start selling everything, and all of you people who don't listen start buying and buying and buying, and oh, look, a new shit coin. Oh, look, a new crapper. Oh, look, a new... I don't care. I'm going to take your money. I don't want it to be that way. I want everyone to make money with us. However, if you continue to talk and act like kindergartners, you're going to continue to get what kindergartners get, which is the smackdown. That's all there is to it, okay? We got to grow up and be adults. And I know that's hard for some people to do because you just can't turn off social media, but I don't want to hear any excuses. We got to make this money. That's all there is to it. I have a family to feed. A lot of you guys have family to feed, so let's feed them. Let's quit acting like the children and be the adults. Fair enough? So, one more time frame out, and I'm going to go to a different chart now because I have it drawn a little cleaner elsewhere. Here's Bitcoin on Bitstamp, which is an older chart, but I wanted to show you that here's the previous all-time high from the last bull market where it topped out and slowed down. And this was at the beginning of 2021 and then the end of 2021. All right, I kind of expect a better performance than we had last time. But anyway, this thing had already doubled and tripled in value at this point, not the point. Point is that I want you to see these support zones that I've got drawn in green. Now, the first support zone, this top one, has already failed, as you see. We've already dug below it. And now we're sitting on the next support level. It was very small support up here. We have much more support over here. Now, this is why I've said this level was important to me. You're not just going to go blowing through major support levels. Everyone with these hyperbole numbers. Oh, we're going to 9,000. Oh, we're going to 30,000. Bro, there's so much stuff in the way for that to happen. Why does everyone go from one extreme to the next? It's not necessary, and it makes us all look uneducated, and we can do better than that. We can do better than that. So let's be more educated. Let's be more presentable with what we say. Otherwise, you're always just being social media, and no one really wants to hear that stuff. If people had a way, and I've asked many, many people this, if you had a way to filter out the stupidity, you would do it. Because that's what I've asked people. And they say, yeah, if I knew there was a way to do it, I would do it. That's us. Let it be us who starts filtering out the stupidity. Okay? So, nonetheless, 57 to 63 is our range here. We're going to keep bouncing around this range till we do something in either direction. I don't think we get much lower than this, right? Between 57 and 63, I just don't see a whole lot of movement there. That would give everything a chance to reset a little bit. And for what it's worth, the high time frames are going to run hot here, and that's all there is to it. That's the way a bull market works. The high time frames run hot too. So we just got to ride out the storm here. I think for the rest of this month into next month, I think for the next 30 to 45 days, we're going to have sideways and down. All right. Sideways and down, sideways and down. It's going to suck at first, but once this is gone, you're going to forget it even happened, and you're going to wish you bought more. You're going to wish you had more money to put in to buy more stuff. That's all there is to it. Now, I wish it was different than that, and I wish I had something crazy and dramatic to tell you, but that's it, folks. All right? So that's Bitcoin, and that's how I see it. I've got a list of coins that you guys asked me to go through, so now I'm fixing to go through. All right? So let me put my glasses on, because I don't see the greatest anymore. As I've gotten older, I had to learn. So BKN, some of these I'm not going to be able to find a chart for, but I'm going to try my best. All right, BKN appears to be on a heck of a rip and now retracing some. And the way it looks like it wants to come back to support right here. That's the way a lot of these look. So rather than buying the big monster up, I would look for a retest of support. I have no moving averages. There's none there for the weekly. But the daily 50 moving average looks like a good place to start for BKN here. That's why I say that. You know, that seems like a reasonable position to me. And most things are going to go back to this 50-day moving average. And you can kind of reassess from there. Pepe. All right. 12. I'm trying to do 12 timestamps too. Sorry. So Pepe's failed the 50, sitting on the 100. I'm expecting a lot to do this where they sit on the 100 moving average. The question is, how long do they hang on to the 100 moving average, which is where I'm expecting Bitcoin to go as well. The 100 daily moving average, this blue line right here. I'm expecting a lot of them to hit that, and I'm expecting many to hold. Now, if it doesn't, you have the 200 moving average down here at a whole bunch of zeros, 259. That's another 50%. Another 50% down. Is that possible? Well, yeah, it's possible, but that's a lot of money all at one time, so I don't think it happens all at once. Now, let's pull some fibs on it real quick just to goof off here. And now if I put the moving averages up there, the 50 fib kind of makes sense. Is that right there? That 200 moving average slowly creeping up to the red box in the 50 fib. Price action getting hung up on the 100, but following along with Bitcoin, the king's lead, because it's not alt season, everyone. Hey, it's not alt season. Hey, everyone. It's not alt season. I cannot say it enough. Grow up. I know you want it to be alt season because you have altcoins, but the market doesn't care what you want. The market doesn't care what I want. The market does what it's supposed to do. Grow up. I would like to see it hold on to the 100. I fear it may fail it and go to the 200, which is that 50 fib, but a whole bunch of zeros, 30. And for what it's worth, that's a good solid 40% down. That's a big move. I mean, I guess it's possible. Let's keep an eye on it. I don't even know why I'm charting this, but someone asked. So let's look at Cock Inu. Under the 100 and the 50, okay? There's the 50, there's the 100. It's failed them both. And now that it's failed them both, simply put, this is a fallen knife until something changes, all right? Now, I only say that because you had an uptrend here, and that's now gone. It's gone. Now you have a downtrend, and it's a bit of a falling knife. The next levels of interest become where we've already touched one time, a whole bunch of zeros, 1, 9, or 2. A whole bunch of zeros, 2. That's possible. Also, if that fails, you got more down here. So a whole bunch of zeros, 1, 6. So a whole bunch of zeros, 1, 5 to a whole bunch of zeros, 2 becomes an interesting level for Pepe because I bet you everything just follows Bitcoin. I couldn't find that one, so I'll go to DOT. I looked up a couple of these before just to make sure. And I went ahead and crossed out the ones I knew I wasn't going to be able to find. All right, so here's Polkadot. Polkadot on the weekly chart, not terrible. Sitting on top of weekly moving averages. I think some of these may have already found their bottom, and the ones that haven't found their bottom are going to get real ugly. However, DOT is sitting on support. It's sitting on the 50 and the 100 weekly moving averages. See that? It's not bad. Now, if I go down to daily, it looks worse. All right. Daily, you're fighting around with the 200 moving average, thinking about falling more. And for what it's worth, yes, you have a falling knife. Can't deny it. Won't deny it. That's a falling knife. Now, The good news is on the weekly, it's on support. That's why I haven't really cared too much. Weekly still sitting all right. And a lot of these I'm trying to look at the weekly charts rather than the daily charts so that I don't overtrade and overdo it. Because you're going to run into the situation where you overtrade and you overdo it. And I don't want that to happen. All right. Good news is it's kind of sitting on weekly support. It needs to hold on though. Too far past this 200 and it's going to get ugly. I'll pull a fib on this and we'll see that we're sitting right around the 50 fib now. I don't think it would get any worse than 460, but I guess it's possible. All right. Keep an eye out on it because I don't want you to be the one to get mad when it doesn't work out how we thought it would. Just be careful. Some of these are going to get ugly, especially the ones that have lagged out and haven't done as well. Here's Atom. Timestamp that. This is what I was worried about DOT doing, what Atom has already done. Big failure under the 200 moving average, not worth talking about. Weekly time frame under all the moving averages on weekly, not worth talking about. I'm glad I got rid of this one. This one looks like it's heading back to cycle lows. What is a cycle low? Well, here's a cycle low right there. Very, very many DeFi people, especially ones with beards who like to, you know what? Very many DeFi people are very into this, and I'm not into this one at all. I really don't care about the ecosystem, the team, the members, or all that crap. I'm here to make money. It's simple as that. So I don't get attached to any of these like they do. All right. So this one looks bad at the moment, and it looks like it may come back to cycle lows, which is worrisome. I'd like to see it come back up here to the 200 at least, which is all the way back up here at 975. It might not do it though, the problem. Now, eventually it will, but it may hurt first. Sucks, but that's the way it is. We can reassess these in about a week also, because I think in a week, things change. Let me find another VRA chart, because this one's messy. That's the one I use to draw on all the time. All right, now we can look at VRA. All right, so worried a little here as it's broken trend and failed all the moving averages, as you see here. Failed them all at one time. And I don't really want to hear about the news and the team and all that and blah, 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 blah. Anytime anybody wants to stick an excuse for why something happened, it's too late and you're chasing your tail, and that's not what we do. I don't care about the excuses. I don't want to hear them. Once you guys have kids and you become parents, you'll understand you really don't care about the excuses anymore. I don't care. I don't care why. This shouldn't have happened, right? So anyway, I like that it's over the 236 fib, and that's why I'm trying to panic and freak out about it, because it's still over technically a support level. Now it is losing moving averages, but I think a lot of these are going to do this, where they play around with the moving averages moving into the bull market. We're getting ready to do halving. We're getting ready to have a bull market. I hate to run away from all of these. Okay, does that make sense? I hate to tuck tail and run. It doesn't seem like a smart move. That's why I haven't done much on much stuff. I've took some profits here and there, but I've not just ran away from anything. I found some that I just didn't like, and I did condense some down because I thought, hey, they don't look as good as I want them to, so I'll find something else. All right, 1925. One Harmony looks terrible. I take that back. It looks bad, but it could be worse. It's on the 236 fib like VRA. See that? It never made it to the 50 fib, which is a bit concerning. I'd like to see everything make it to the 50 fib, and it hadn't done it. It needs to be over this 50 fib by the end of the year to move up here towards Sniper's Alley. If it is not over this 5.5 cent level by the end of the year, then it is not worth hanging on to, and there are better things to buy elsewhere. And at the end of the year, I will be reassessing everything that I own. And if it ain't over this level, I'll find something else. I promise you, I don't care, and I'm not loyal to any of these hoes. I will much rather have something that'll make me more money than less money. Every single day of the week. All right. All right. XDC. All right. Here's XDC failing. Not only is it failing, but it's got a bit of a fallen knife syndrome here. As you see, that is a downtrend with lower highs and lower lows and lower highs and lower lows and failing. Good news. It's got some support. You could argue there's a bit of a line there, and you could argue that we have support right through this range. See all these candles chopping around inside this box? That's good support, and it's almost there. Not quite. All these ISO coins are likely going to underperform don't get mad. It's likely that they all underperform. It doesn't matter how you feel about them. No one cares. No one cares what I feel. No one cares what you feel. We've got to make money. If you're not making money, you're wasting your time. Don't miss the opportunity that we have coming, folks. Do not be the one who misses the opportunity that we have coming because you got hung up on a couple of them, or you fell in love with this one, or that one's been very appealing to you, or you made a lot of money on this one. I get it. I get it. It doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter. Reality checks are required. It's a requirement of the job. All right. Good news here on Domi 2135. Keeping these timestamps up though. Good news. I like this over the 50 fib. You see that? Cool. That's what I want to see all of them do. Stay over that. If it stays over this for the duration of the year, that opens up much higher levels and a chance at getting the sniper's alley before the end of the year closes. And if that happens, that opens up our upper level extensions and a big move later. Now, good news, that's possible. The bad news is short term, she's coming back down a little bit more. It looks like 0.03 flat or a little bit less. Looks like that's coming. Sucks, but that's the way it is. I'm going to try to find some of these odd ones, and if I can't find them, I'll just move on, okay? Matrix AI, we've done this one before. Yep. All right, so under the 50 fib on Matrix AI, let me write this down, 22, 23. Yep, I don't like it fell in the 50 fib like I don't like a lot of them fell in the 50 fib, but support right here, you see the moving averages are there. It's likely to cling on to those and hold on throughout the next month and a half or 2 months, and then find a footing to move a little forward. It's got a good rebate right now, and I like buying support. And there's support down here at 002222222222, right? So I don't hate taking a stab at it. It might not go as fast as you want it to because it's not alt season, folks. BTC is the king, and it is Bitcoin's year. That's the way this works. But it is near support, and I don't hate taking a chance when it's near support. This Leox, I looked it up. I'm not going to do that one. BVM. There we go. BVM absolutely flying high. Let's see how long she can maintain. I like that's up there the way it is. I don't like the bit of a flag it's making up here with Bitcoin teetering. I don't like that. I can bet you this thing plays around and falls under here and might just get stuck a bit, but it isn't terrible. It isn't terrible. And if you're looking to DCA into something, these new things tend to do pretty well moving forward. It just might not go as fast as you want it to, and it might not happen until, you know, later on down the bull market. Especially 2025. That's when I think a lot of these things really open up, is in 2025. Oh, we ain't there yet, are we? No, we ain't. Here's Rio. All right, so Rio's sitting on the 50-day moving average. Don't hate that at all. Pretty darn good, honestly. Could be worse, could be better. It made a hell of a run up over the last week and a half. Over the last month and a half. And now it's slowly peeling back a little bit. And that's not the end of the world. We can put the 821 EMA on there, and you see it's sitting on the weekly 8 EMA. And I think at worst here is the 21. It's $1.22 at worst, where it comes back down to the EMA, the 21 EMA right there, the purple line, and gives her a bounce. We've seen that dozens of times. You saw it happen right here just a couple weeks ago when it really took off and ran. So, one step at a time. I can't get to all these, y'all. I'm sorry. And I haven't said hey to everybody. Nerd Life, Bernardo, King of Light, Cowbunga Joe, Charts Can't Lie, Ariana, my cousin Jeremy, Joke, Christian, Artie, E. Phillips, Big Dex, Bernardo again, Horse Trader, Mark Estrada, good to see you. Illuminati, G-Man, Nas, Marco, Jeremy Monroe, Telmo, Don Manna, good to see you on here. Crypto Moon, good to see you. Jill Sandwich, how are you? Rodrigo, what's up? Bullish CEO, good to see you. E. Phillips, what's up? So I can't get to all of them. I still have about 15 on this list. I'm not going to make it. So I'm just going to try to get through the ones I can, and we'll get there, right? So, Matic. I wish I could look at them all, but it's a 30-minute show, and we can't get to everything, all right? So I say get your requests in early. Let's find another Matic chart. This one's messy. It's got all my drawings on it. And I realize y'all don't want to see a bunch of drawings. So Matic has peeled all the way back, failed all the moving averages, as you see, and has peeled all the way back to the 382 fib and actually fallen under it, even under the 382 fib. I did not want to see that happen, but it's happening. So I'm pressed. What do you do here, right? Well, this one turned ugly on me. The thing is, I think there's some support here. I'll draw a box here for you. You got support here. There's more support down here. And I've already kind of committed this Matic and left it alone. I think this eventually gets up here to the least sniper's alley. And it's not going to take a little bit because it doesn't look very good right now. I'm happy to admit it doesn't look very good right now, failing all the moving averages like that. But let's see if she turns the corner. All right. I don't want to hear about the team. I don't want to hear about news you saw on Twitter. I really don't care. What you saw on Twitter is people's opinions, and I don't really care about opinions. We all have them, and no one really cares to hear yours. No one really cares to hear mine. We got to keep it real. Doge. Doge is cool. And the reason I'm going to say this is because she's following a pattern that she's followed before. All right. So before we talk about what's happening now, let's talk about the past for Dogecoin. Before Elon ever mentioned it, here's Dogecoin's chart. At halving, we had a run up before halving with the retrace right before halving. Chart kind of went flat, found its low spot a couple months later. See that? A couple months later, kind of found its low spot. You had one more chance to buy in low, and then it took off. Now, we can go down to the daily and find the exact day. Not important. Same cycle 4 years later. Run up before halving. You had a retrace before halving. She kind of went flat and sideways. It shot up, but then it came back down. That white line was kind of your last chance. This was a couple months after halving, by the way. See that right there? A couple months after halving. She finally got her feet and took off again and made another huge run up. And here we are again, before halving, a run up. As we go forward, we're probably going to go sideways and down and matriculate around there a little bit. And I bet you we get another chance in September or October before things really get cooking again and she's off to the races again. This is why I have not ran from any of this stuff. And as you see, I took profits already one time on Doge. I'm free riding on this one. I can leave it be. And I can do perfectly good on it without having to worry about really any of it. I can just sit back and chill. I got my numbers messed up here. Hold on, I gotta reverse this. There we go. So as far as it goes, I'm just gonna leave this alone. This is a free roll. Like I said, I've got my initial money back. I'm happy to let this one alone and let it go and have fun. This is what I've been preaching. Get your profits. Now you have a free roll and you take these profits and you put them somewhere else. And that somewhere else makes you extra money. It might not happen right now as much as you want that to happen right now. It doesn't matter. It's going to happen when it happens. Last one, VELO. All right, so VELO here, important to note. Over the 236, under the 382, over the moving averages on the weekly, it has support. It may take a while to finish off. This one is not going to do as well as Dimitri or CREDI. By the way, all credit to Wolf for everything I ever mentioned, because he's clearly mentioned everything first before anyone else has mentioned everything. So he gets all the credit for everything. Everything, especially if he mentioned it. All right. Nonetheless, still chugging along here. A couple indecision candles on the weekly. This is going to take a little bit of time, but I expect all three of these blue lines to get hit, which are resistance lines. And I hope this happens by the end of the year. If this happens by the end of the year, and we get up here and these blue lines get hit by the end of the year, and we can stay over this 50 fib, we have a shot at getting up here to the upper level resistance at 27 cents. I stand to make a metric ton of money if that happens. For now, she's playing along, consolidating a little bit, thinking about it. I got a little box drawn here. It's kind of making a head and shoulders. I wouldn't be surprised if she makes a head and shoulders and she takes another run down here, okay? It's fully possible, and I want you to man the hatches and be prepared to do what you want to do, buy, sell, trade, do your thing. I already know what I'm going to do. I want you to know what you're going to do, all right? Don't freak out. Be smart and think about it, all right? So that was over 30 minutes. Real talk, I want to say thank every single person for coming on here for since 2019. Since 2019, we did 2 streams, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And they knocked that back in the bear market to just 1 stream because nobody was watching. Here we are again, pre-bull market. I'm taking this stream away. Not a lot of whole people watch this. I mean, we only get 45 or 50 people watching usually, and we're not moving the world like that. People feel free to go watch Digital Asset Investor or go watch Shake Weight or any other YouTuber who will tell you what you want to hear rather than what you need to hear. But we're moving this all to Discord. Thursdays will be our only live stream. We'll only do that once a week. Everything else will be in our Discord. You have a chance. Here you go. wap.com/team786. You got a couple more days to get in. If you ain't there, you ain't there. Nothing personal. Thank you all for watching after all these years. I feel like we've all matured along the way and learned a lot. And I hope that continues over in our Discord and on our Thursday stream. We'll see. We have another year and a half of craziness to go. Things are going to get wild. We have big plans for everything. Hope you guys are along for the ride. I'll see you after 2026. Once this is over and we take profits, we'll come on and do some live streams and we'll change things up a little bit. But till then, you guys remember 3 things, all right? Could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. I appreciate that till the last time we're doing this, which is now. All right? Make the best of your todays, the worst of your tomorrows. Have a better day tomorrow than you did today and every day moving forward. And last thing, man, nobody else told you they love you. Keith loved you. I'll see y'all at the end of 2026. Y'all be good. Sky's the limit. Peace.